His name is Ryder.
Tio said he's agua chiltepin.
This isn't gonna make any.
Love you, bro.
The guy! Oh my
Hey, down, this is Clark. Hey, if you get a chance, if you give me a call back, please. Love you, bro. I want to talk to you about the house. Hey, down, this is Clark. Love you, bro. Hey, down, this is Clark.
Hi, I'm John,
Hi, I'm Trevor.
and you're listening to Caps Off, formerly known as the Caps Off Show.
Yeah.
Now and forever known as Caps Off.
Yeah, I don't know why we danced. I guess it was kind of my idea. I remember you telling me not to for a while. Like, there was no point. We were like Caps Off with John and Trevor.
There was this obsession with rebranding, I believe.
Yeah, we
which
could have just
is,
called it Caps Off from the get-go.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is
just let it at that.
the format that we tried to do it in is like every 10 episodes is like a season. So then we had this immense amount of pressure every 10th episode to be like, we got to do something completely different.
Is it so wrong to try?
for an audience of like 50 people.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, we got 55 subscribers on the Caps Off YouTube channel. So I would consider this our 50 subscriber special, or maybe our 50 follower special, because I think we hit that much on Instagram as well, which is awesome that we're still marginally growing, because we haven't done this in over a year. Maybe longer, maybe 2 years.
Some might call it crawling. But growth is still growth nonetheless, right?
Correct. There was a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you about. Within that year, I think last year, correct me if I'm remembering this incorrectly, I had an idea. Bob Dylan was coming to the East Coast. He was going to come to Buffalo, or like to the Toronto, like Rochester area, which is where I live, and then Buffalo, and then I think he was going to go through Ohio, and I was kind of mapping out. I have in my journal like the calculations for how long it would take for both of us to go, and like what would be the best place to like meet in the middle, and we could go see Bob Dylan together. I remember bringing that up to you, and I believe you said something to the tune of, "I hate that old geezer, and I'm never gonna hear him sing. He never made good music, and he's not an American treasure." I think you said that, right?
You're all right. Let's be fair. You're paraphrasing, so you're not gonna hit exactly what I said.
It was a long time ago.
No, that's not even remotely what I said. I knew this. I just want to put this out there. I knew this was coming. I didn't know when. I knew it was like an egg, like one of those century eggs, like festering in the dirt, waiting for a little Oriental man to dig it up and dine in. I knew that when I turned this event down, that I was probably gonna hear about it, not regret it maybe, but hear about it in some portion. So let's set the record straight. All right, Mr. Valenzuela, I like Bob Dylan. I'm not going to go as far as to say I love him, because I feel like that would put me, it would color, on this trial, on the bench as it is. I think that would color me in a bad light to say that I love Bob Dylan, but I'll say I like him a lot.
Okay.
I know quite a few Bob Dylan songs. I think in that conversation, I'm going to admit I probably did try to dress it up like I don't know that many Bob Dylan songs. Like a Rolling Stone.
I wanted to be like a Rolling Stone on my way to see Bob Dylan. The man in me wanted to watch this guy sing, and
yes,
you left me with the Subterranean Hope Sick Blues. Let me say,
you didn't want to. Yeah, when it came to getting those tickets, you didn't think twice, and it's all right.
Yeah, no. Well, as soon as you turned it down, I wrote it down in my Caps Off note, and I was like, "That's gonna get brought up to the people that matter."
I distinctly remember a day I went to your house, and I had The Man in Me playing, and you were like, "What is this?" Almost in like you were confronting me about something. Like what is this? Like, what you're just gonna drop this on my plate and then not talk about it? Like, like you were enjoying it, but you were mad that you didn't already know that it existed or something.
Oh, yeah, probably. I remember the first time I heard "The Man in Me," I was shocked that it was Bob Dylan because I'm used to him, sounding all like nasally and young and like a
Yeah. Ooh,
yeah, like I don't know, like a poor man's Johnny Bones, but he sounded like a man. He aged up a bit.
Yeah. He found the man in him.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I so that's another good moment where it was like, oh yeah, Bob Dylan's isn't this great? Like, is a great song, yada yada. And then yeah, flash forward, and then I'm like, ugh, no, I don't want to go. But let me be honest. Here's where the meat of that that rejection stems from. And it's basically this. I've always said, as many concerts I've been to in my life, almost none of them have been like purely my choice and been like an artist or group that I was like absolutely dead set on seeing. So, for example, I'll give you a good example and a bad example. A good example would be for my birthday one year, somebody bought me tickets to Styx, and then they were in town. I love Styx, you know that. Great show. But it's like I never really saw myself going to a Styx show. And if you were to ask me, like, "Hey, Styx is in like Chicago, which is not far from me. You want to go up Chicago see Styx?" I'd be like, "No, I'm good. I think." Because that sounds expensive and that sounds like just out of the way for something that's just like, it's going to be a good time. Yeah, I'll probably love it. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem like, I don't know. It seems like I know so many people who are like, I love this band. I'm going to go see this band. They're everything. And I have big groups and stuff like that I enjoy to that level that I've just never attempted to go out and see live. So it almost feels like I'm doing a disservice to them in a way if I'm like going to concerts. Here's my bad example one. I went to a Hollywood Undead concert, and I don't think I have to explain just how horrific that was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're a fan of Hollywood Undead. Anybody listening to this, I apologize deeply, but I also rescind that apology immediately because it was a horrible concert.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would hope that's not our follower demographic. I don't want to reach any Hollywood Undead fans. You can take your old chunky DC skater shoes and walk away.
Yeah, and your million bandanas like hanging out of your pockets and around your neck and your arm.
Yeah. So what you're saying is like because I think I understand what you're getting at is like because I was a considerate friend and asked you and tried to schedule it instead of just buying you the ticket and saying, "John, we're doing this," you felt offended because I wanted to make sure that my friend with a family and a life could make the plan, right? Could make it happen.
God,
so now that we're on the same page.
Hey, do you have any ambitions in law school? Because you would make a hell of a lawyer. I think I've said this before. You are just so good with like you could take a hit and like almost immediately bring like a headbutt back with the same power as the fist of the hit that first hit you.
I don't think I have that ability with many people but you, if I'm being honest.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I'm such a simpleton.
I did watch Oppenheimer and think like, man, that lawyer, he sure knows what he's doing. He's tripping Cillian Murphy up. But yeah, so maybe. I don't know, maybe.
All right. Well, I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there before you really dug into me that my actual point is that I don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't have a good point.
That's all right. I'm not I'm not losing my mind about it. I'm not actually too bothered about Bob Dylan.
One reason I don't think I have a good point is because I'm trying to think of like a band that you would suggest that I would be like, I'm there today. And I'm sure a band does exist, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head that I could legitimately go see a show of. I have this problem where I am like obsessed with people who died like 14 years before I was even born. So
I get that. I've never been to a real concert in my life. that wasn't like put on by my church or something, as a kid. So I really haven't.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and it's because like for a long time I thought it was something that like my parents had to go with, and like living in Sierra Vista, obviously, like I'm driving 3 hours. Who's gonna drive me 3 hours to a concert to Phoenix, where like the next big artist is stopping? But even then, most of the people I like, that same exact problem, are dead, and they've been dead since long before I liked them. So.
Yeah, Elvis isn't coming by Phoenix anytime.
Elvis ain't. No, I can't say he is. What if this? What about what if I promise to get you super shit faced, and then I can promise like Creed, Nickelback, and Linkin Park in a single night?
Oh, yep, you got me. Okay, so
Right.
I'm shit faced when you ask me, which is I'm automatically in. But then you have to, every time you bring it up, you have to pregame me a little bit, because it has the potential for me to be like when I'm sober, I could be like, I don't know, those are like dad rock bands. It's very like, I don't have a beer gut, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna enjoy this concert.
No, ideally, when I would arrange that, get you shit faced, and be like, oh, by the way, get in the Uber. You're gonna love this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm not buying the tickets either way, so it sounds like a primo scenario. It sounds like exactly what I need to go to a concert.
Okay, perfect. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind next time I want to take it to see some old bag.
You know who else I've seen live is Nickelback, and that was also not my choice.
Yeah, man.
The thing about Nickelback, I always tell everybody is, I was so not hyped to see that band until I was watching the bands playing before, and one of them wasn't so bad, but then the one to come after that was Daughtry. And I don't know how much you know about Daughtry, but
I kind of know Daughtry.
Yeah, so you
no
know,
surprise, right?
Yeah, so you know that like the bands you mentioned before are dad rock. These ones are very much like mom rock. And so when I had seen Nickelback in concert and I watched Daughtry, it was around the time where I was working in a grocery store. So initially when they got on stage, I was just like, yeah, I know Daughtry. I guess I know a couple songs. And then I was very disappointed to hear that like I knew every word to every song that was in their set list, because it's playing above me for at least 8 hours a day, almost every day of the week while I'm at the fucking, that's all they played at the grocery store where I worked at, was just like Daughtry every day. Every like 15th song was one of those hits. And I'm guessing they made like it's either one really successful album or it's just all the hits from their best albums. But that's only the only songs I ever hear. I haven't heard like a deep cut Daughtry.
I think I only know that one. That I think No Surprise is a Daughtry song, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that's the only one I know. And that's because like that was their big one after they won, or he won, Chris Daughtry, right? I think he won American Idol. That was his big one after that. My parents loved American Idol growing up. They were all about it. Oh my god.
Oh really? Were they?
Yeah.
My parents did for a little bit, but I always wondered what it was like to live in one of those homes that just continued to follow that, because like they had a phase of watching it, and then like I would go to school and other people would be talking about it. I'm like, wow, they kept up with that show. Like, what's that like watching that Week In, Week Out?
Yeah. I do remember going to school and being like, wow, do you think Scotty McCreery's going to win it? And people would be like, no way. You know?
The closest thing I had to that was when Total Drama Island was a big thing. I remember going into fifth grade and then being like, who do you think's going to be voted off the island tonight? So, and I remember feeling goofy at the time because I was like, somebody wrote this.
yeah. This is premeditated.
Yeah. But my point was, after hearing Daughtry, that full set, when Nickelback actually came on, man, they fucking rocked. Oh my god, did they rock my cock off? Like they were like I was fucking like, and I was too young to get beer, but the just the absolute high of the energy exuding from stage, I felt like I was hammered. I was just
Yeah.
like, it was such a whiplash. And I can't say I legitimately like Nickelback, but I did have a good time. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice. Yeah, no, I got to be in a certain mood for Nickelback, but I'm not gonna lie. When they're hitting, they're hitting, they're hitting. I lose my shit. I kind of go crazy, animal mode.
Yeah, like an animal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just got your license back. Before we get off this topic of like guilty pleasure stuff, real quick, I just wanted to hit. Are you at all in any way a Smash Mouth fan?
Yeah, of course, dude. Walking on the Sun's great.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Walking on the Sun's like such a good song.
So I had to come up in Spotify the other day, and I immediately knee jerk reaction went to go skip it. And what I stopped on is I saw the cover art like for the album, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then just looking at the art, it like stuck me there and forced me to continue to listen to it. And then I was like, oh, I know this song. So I was just like, yeah, this is okay. And then before I know it, I'm halfway through the song having a blast, dude. I'm like, this
You
is
have a blast. It's such a fun song.
It is so much fun. It has no right to be that fun. Do you know what picture I'm talking about?
The one in the desert?
No, it's like I don't know what kind of car it is, but it's like this car like flying through space, and like it's like a big space background. I think there's like a moon or a planet, and then there's this like red tag like thing on the side that runs down, and it's supposed to look like it's like Chinese lettering, but I'm pretty sure it just says "fuck you." It says "fuck you" or "fuck yeah" or something like that. But I just was staring at that for so long, and I was like, I need like a poster of this. Yep, that's
That
it.
thing?
That's it right there.
All right.
I love that fucking picture so much.
That's
That picture,
badass.
whoever designed that deserves everything they've ever gotten in life, because that kept me, and it made me. I'm not going to say I'm a Smash Mouth fan, but I will say on the same level as Bob Dylan, I know a few songs and I like them.
I like Walking on the Sun. I feel like every time I listen to it, I could not tell you right now what the song is about, but I know every time I listen to it, I get a new like sense of like, wow, I didn't know the lyrics were hitting that hard.
Yeah.
Or like, wow, this is fucking wow, what a song. They were thinking.
Yeah, and this is the guy from Shrek.
They were rubbing the brain cells together with that one. This is the guy from Shrek. Did you ever see that fake tweet from like the guy from Smash Mouth? I forgot his name. The one who I think he died a little bit ago, right?
Yeah, he did.
But the fake tweet was like, we were gonna be the next Beatles, and Shrek ruined us. You ever see that shit?
No, that's gold though. That's good.
There's a story I've been wanting to tell you. I've been saving it. I was gonna tell it to you, but then I was like, we haven't recorded Caps Off in a while, so I'll tell it to him on there. This is a very it was a tense moment of mine. A bit, I guess, a little embarrassing, but
Okay.
it's all right. It's all right. It's hey, check it out. So I'm the general manager of a gym. And I have employees. I have people who work under me, and there was this day where I came in, and I was having an employee who hadn't worked for a couple of weeks. Like, I hadn't seen him. He had COVID, and then he had like some other thing that he had. So it had been a couple weeks since I'd seen him, and I came into work, and it was him and this other girl working, and this girl, we'll call her Jenny, because that's not her real name, and she's a real person who I still know. So Jenny came up to me, and she was like, "Hey, I was wondering if I could leave early today," and I was like, "Sure. Why? Can you tell me why?" And then, because obviously if it's like I want to go see Pitbull, I'm gonna be like, "No, you probably shouldn't be leaving work early to go see Pitbull." Maybe.
Yeah.
How long's the drive?
It's a 305.
But no, she was like, I didn't realize today is the 8-month anniversary of my best friend's death, and I was like, oh my god, and so as you know, my best friend died a couple of months back as well, and so obviously when she said that, I was like, dude, get the fuck out of here. don't, yeah, of course, leave whenever you're ready to. We got the coverage. I'm not worried about it.
Sure.
And so she's like, I'll probably stay for a little bit longer, but I hadn't thought about it, and I saw a memory while I was here at work this morning, and so I just feel like I kind of want to depart and go hang out with my other friends and kind of work through that. And I was like, yeah, no problem, of course. And so she was sitting at the front desk. She was still working. She hadn't left yet. And this guy that I hadn't seen in a couple weeks walked up, and I was like, we'll call him John. We'll call him Johnny Van Hook. And
Okay.
and I was like, I don't know, man. It was like word association. I wasn't thinking, but I like looked at him, and I was like, I hadn't seen him, and I got excited, and I was like, oh my god, John, I feel like I haven't seen you in like 8 months.
Oh no!
Yeah, and I like, dude. When I tell you, I was standing like 3 feet from her. I know she fucking. I just tried to. I just turned around and started like working on the computer. I was like, I can't fucking. I can't look at her. If I look at her, I'm gonna cry. Beg for forgiveness. That shit fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie. I was like rolling about that. Like I'd be in bed, like waking up, like, oh my god, why would you say that? You could have said forever.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in forever. Would have been easier. Oh my god, dude. I felt like such a fucking idiot.
I was starting to think you died.
Oh my god, dude. No, it fucking sucked. Yeah, not one of my shining moments. But holy shit, is it funny in hindsight?
Yeah. Do you want? I don't suppose you want to circle back to your friend dying thing at all, do you?
We don't have to spend too much time on it. I don't want to bog down. We got a good energy going here, but I guess real quick.
Yeah.
You might remember Weston Rocco from. Most notably in his lifetime from Caps Off episode 29, hashtag Save Rose of the Shark. Probably one of the biggest things he ever did. But he was diagnosed with leukemia.
Besides your mom.
Oh my god. Great. Fucking singer.
That one's for Weston.
He was on episode 29. He was my best friend in the whole world. He got diagnosed with leukemia last September. And unfortunately, he didn't quite survive that battle. But I got this tattoo. He had you can't even see it. It doesn't matter. There's no video on the podcast anyway. He had a paper crane tattoo, and on his neck. That I used to give him a lot of shit for having a neck tattoo. And so after he died, me and Isaiah and our friends Gabby and his wife Anna are now, we all decided like that's the tattoo to get. Bummer. It's still pretty fresh in the grand scheme of things, but I think it was almost 4 months ago. I think on the 22nd it'll be 4 months ago if I'm not mistaken. But life goes on. In the wake of that, I've made some pretty hefty decisions. Like when he got his diagnosis, I went and saw him in Arizona and hung out with him, and came back from that and decided, because our overall goal was to open like the gym that we wanted to open together, the jungle gym, which I think we actually talked to you about. We told you about for the first time on that Caps Off episode. That was like our legitimate.
Oh,
yeah, that was our plan, man.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
That was the whole plan.
Wow.
And so, as soon as he got his diagnosis, I was like, well, he's been going to school, and I've just been fucking around in Buffalo, so I might as well try and start doing my part, carrying some of this weight. And so I ended up letting my bosses know that I'd like to move up with the company, and it wasn't very long. They moved me to a different location to train for general manager, and then I worked there for like 5 months, and then they fired somebody, classic them, and I got bumped up, and so I became a general manager, and I was bodybuilding. I was doing a show in our hometown, and so that kind of it was crazy the way it aligned. I had this bodybuilding competition lined up. and I bought the plane ticket, like months in advance, and I went out, I competed, I got my natural bodybuilding pro card, and was able to actually go up and see him that weekend and meet him and Isaiah. We all spent the night together, and we had a little powwow and left nothing unsaid, and he kind of knew that that the end was a little closer than he would have liked it to be. And we played Black Ops 3 and just shot the shit and ate shitty food and had a great night together. And that was Saturday, and then the following Wednesday was when he died. So kind of crazy how the timing of that worked out. I think
incredibly close.
Yeah.
Cut. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm so
probably
so lucky
one of the greatest
to have
gifts
gotten
you
that,
could ever get, though.
Yeah, I mean, as shitty as that situation is, the best it could have turned out is to have, like, one last night with the boys, and then knowing, savoring, hanging on every moment and shit. So.
Hey, yeah, man. I didn't know Weston more than I feel like the way I'm going to say it is wrong. I didn't know Weston more than you allowed me to, which is basically like he was your friend, and I got to hang out with him whenever you were hanging out with him, and that was awesome. Like there wasn't really an occasion where I was like hitting Weston up to hang out. So would I call him my friend? Absolutely, 100%. But I also feel weird saying like my friend just passed away. So it's more like Trevor's. All I can say is Trevor's best friend is, or like if it's someone that I know, like I would always refer to one of my closest friends. His name is Oakley. I always refer to your Weston as my Oakley. So when telling other people that, I can say that comfortably. But I love doing the podcast with him and all the film stuff we did with him. It's quite literally he could live 40 more years. All that stuff is still ingrained in my brain and will be for probably the rest of my life. Dude,
that was something actually really cool.
I look back on it very fondly.
Because we did that podcast. You sent me that pretty quick after it happened, and it did me a lot of good. Because I there are a couple times where like I fuck with him and I annoy him in that. And the thing I really loved is that he sounds most like himself when he's annoyed. Like, I don't know, like hearing him like getting fed up with me, I was like, oh man, that's that good shit. Yeah, and then
that's so
he was in a lot of the short films that I made, and he had a very, very, very heavy presence in the multreverse. So I spent a lot of time.
Yes, I just did a watch through that, and he's everywhere.
I have so many little behind the scenes things, bloopers, things that didn't get shown, or in the final cuts of things of us breaking and just losing our shit laughing. So it was really cool going through all of that and seeing, just seeing us having a good time. And you've shared videos that I had never seen before of us of us shooting Vienna, which never got finished. But yeah, man. So
I don't know if you could ever mention Vienna without saying, without being like, which was one of my greatest failures.
That Return to Casita Rojo.
Yeah. You can't bring it up without being like, before it went down in flames, it was the greatest idea. Which I feel you there. That's how I feel about all my projects as well.
Yeah, Vienna is definitely that one. I don't think that's ever getting made, especially now. But Return to Casita Rojo, I still work on from time to time. I write for it. I've got a whole like prologue, and the world's become a lot bigger than that was my Western for, I don't know what Caps Off knows and doesn't know, but I was working on a Western before I moved out of Arizona, and since I moved, I didn't finish. I finished like 2 minutes of it. But I've written for that. I've gotten so much more. Like, it's like a much bigger world than I had originally anticipated, and things just keep kind of falling into place. Cool new characters, cool new like landscapes. So that's fun, but definitely not getting put to film anytime in the next couple decades.
Not with that attitude.
Oh.
Or schedule. Jesus Christ, are you fucking busy?
I am busy. Yeah, that was another thing. That's what I was really trying to lead up to. Is like, then after Weston passed, I was like, well, I can't not open the Jungle Gym. Now I have to. Not that was ever not the plan, because it always was the plan. But now I'm like, now it's strictly on my shoulders. So I've, I'm running this gym, and trying to garner like day-to-day experience doing that and build my skills doing that, seeing what it's like. And then I've also gone back to college, and I actually just started that. This is the end of my first week, and I am caught up, which is awesome because I used to suck at school, and I still kind of do, but I'm forcing myself to do the work.
That's good. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, I hope the size of my cranium increases marginally throughout the semester.
Yeah, you'll be big baby brain Trevor in no time.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, there's another story which is not really related at all, but it was something kind of nuts I wanted to talk to you about. I didn't know if you might have seen it, because I know you still got shit on like your Facebook that having to do with Sierra Vista, and I know a lot of the Sierra Vista news pages, Cool FM, shout out, were posting.
Our one of our friends of the pod, you could say, Cool FM Online.
Sort of, yeah. He was friends with, my shitter boss Levi. So, but Levi, I still need my W-2.
Yeah.
Send me that.
You son of a bitch.
But no, there was a woman. I saw this article shared by one of these news places. It was an article. So apparently there was a Wells Fargo in Tempe, Arizona, where a woman. It's been a while since I read the story, so I forgot her name, unfortunately. But a woman went to work. She worked there. She clocked in at 7 a.m. She was 60, and during her shift, she died at her desk. And they didn't notice or find her for 4 days. 4 fucking days.
Oh my god. What
Dude,
the
4
fuck?
days they were. Yeah, the employees. Wells Fargo released a statement. They were like, "This is like an underpopulated area of the building, and not a lot of workers are remote. It's a 3-story Wells Fargo, But employees were like mentioning a smell, and they were like, "Yeah, I thought we just had plumbing issues." People. How many times did people walk back like, "A long weekend, Janet?" and like pat her on the back. Uh-oh, don't let the boss catch you, thinking she's sleeping at the desk.
Is it just me, or has Greg had been eating Indian food for lunch every day this week?
Burning the midnight oil, I see.
Are those jokes allowed anymore? Indian food?
I think so, because it's Indian food, right? You can make fun of the food.
Yeah, not the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
The people smell great, I'm sure.
well. No. Yeah, dude. That was. I read that shit and I was like, "What the fuck, dude? 4 fucking days? This poor woman's family." They were like, to know, like that's your mom. That's your mom for 4 days at her desk. But then that brings up a whole other issue, dude, which really freaks me out. I don't ever want to die at work. Can you imagine? I imagine my death every sort of way. I never stop to think, what if I die and I'm at work? And that's my great culmination.
Yeah.
That's the big end.
I think that's universally one of the worst positions or like situations to die in.
Yeah.
Is like serving someone else. Especially if like you died, like if it was natural causes, yeah, that sucks. But it's tenfold worse if you die like in construction or doing something that's even remotely like dangerous for not necessary results for the danger that you're put in. You know what I mean? And then you die under those circumstances, then it's like, what the fuck?
You know the song Highwayman?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, in that song they sing about
Are you gonna talk about the dam builder?
Yeah, he falls into the concrete, gets buried.
Yeah. Picture this, all right? Boulder, Colorado. All right. Big river, wide.
Yeah.
We're talking wide river.
Big wide river.
Yeah. Homeboy slips.
Yeah, slipped and fell
No,
into the
but,
wet concrete beloh.
Yeah, but
Good song.
yeah. Is that the what you're trying to say? Is that's a good example?
Yeah, dude.
of,
What if
like,
that happened? What if like I can't wait. I'm 35, no dysentery, and then that's how you go.
I think the same jokes can be said and have been said multiple times about beavers, where like beavers see a bunch of running water and they're like, I don't fucking think so. So it's such a ridiculous thing to be like, we gotta build like this giant natural occurring body of water just powerfully carving its way through the landscape. We're like, we gotta put concrete in the way and stop it and redirect it. And
I don't
that
like
guy
that.
died
I want
in
to
the process
control
of
that.
doing that. Yeah.
Look at that. Look
And
at that.
he
I'm
died
not in
because
charge of that.
someone else wanted to control it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
highly doubt that guy had any interest in whatever the process, like the purpose of what that dam was being built. That guy had no stakes in it.
Yeah.
And here he is slipping and falling into the wet concrete below.
Yeah,
They
there's
buried him in the gray tomb that knows no sound, Trevor.
Damn, what a good song. What a good song with
Yeah,
lines
you
like
know
that.
he's still around too, because I'm sure the dam's still there.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you
He
watch
was in
Attack
there.
on
He's-
Titan?
No.
Okay, there's this spoilers for anybody currently watching. There's this part of I think it's the end of season 2 of Attack on Titan where like they find out there's giant city walls like that keep these Titan monsters out. They find
Yeah.
out inside the walls like is like it's cracking and it reveals a Titan's face, and they find out that there's like ancient Titans stored within the walls for some reason.
Holy shit, I didn't know that
So-
about that show. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I want to watch. I'm
That's the guy who
sold.
built the wall.
I might have to check out that show. I knew some crazy shit
No, it's
happened.
a good
but
show though. I highly recommend it. It's a good watch.
In the time since we've last recorded, I've watched Dragon Ball, a shit ton of Dragon Ball. Finished Dragon Ball Z
one
Kai.
I've been recommending for years.
Like half of the original Dragon Ball series. I don't know if I'll ever. I might touch Super for the Tournament of Power, but
At
everything
very
I see,
least, I'm begging you.
everything I see of Super just kind of leaves me like cringing out a little bit.
Yeah. No, yes, I understand totally. I want to get mad at you. I want to be like, no, dude, please. I totally understand. When I tell you, if it's not something you would see on like an Instagram reel edit, like of a fight scene, if it's not that quality, just skip it. Basically,
Yeah.
You're gonna want to just get past that.
I watched the baseball episode and I thought that was awful.
No, man.
like, what the fuck
I
is
haven't
it?
even seen the baseball episode. Don't you understand, Trevor? I'm a stan. I'm a Dragon Ball Z stan. And I haven't even seen that god-awful fucking piece of shit, bullshit-ass fucking episode. And fuck
I
y'all
watched
until while we're on
Broly.
the
I watched,
topic.
yeah, I watched DBS Broly and Dragon Ball Abridged, and those were both awesome. Those both had me shitting my pants.
Yeah, Broly's real good. It was a return to form for sure. I've been using that term a lot, I guess. But I think that movie was such a hit just because it played off of what we were asking for out of Toriyama for years. just give us this cool, give us the blonde guys, at least 3 of them, and they're hitting each other hard. That's what we
Hey,
want.
listen, you had your
We want them
golden
screaming.
years for world building. That's not for you anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Did you not do enough of that in Dragon Ball?
Yeah. That reminds me of like a sentiment that I heard Bob Dylan actually talking about. No offense, sorry.
Oh,
no, you're not a
really?
fan. Yeah.
Hey.
You
No,
can't
I like
stand that.
circles though. I like when things come around.
Well, yeah, as any Bob Dylan hater would, any simpleton. You love circles. Love that shit.
Yeah.
Bob, I heard him talking. He's like
Circles
old
are
as
easy.
shit. He's old as shit, and he was talking about like, well, when I wasn't old as shit, I was writing all these songs, and he was listing off stuff from like Desolation Row. I know is one you know that's like really like lyric heavy. And like Stuck Inside a Mobile have like these really like almost like enchanting kind of like like magical descriptive lyrics, in my opinion at least. And he's talking about this time where he was writing songs like that, and he's like, I couldn't. He's talking in this interview saying, I can't do that anymore. The interviewer's like, what do you mean? You have the skill, like you did that before, and you could do it again. He's like, no. I believe that there was a certain, I don't know if it was the time or who I was or where I was, and all of it just came together perfectly. There was a magic that I was drawing from where it almost didn't even feel like I was writing the words, but I was, I could tap into it, and it would just come out, and the art was created, and I can't do that anymore. I have to work a lot harder at it. I have to think a lot harder at it. It's not.
He's like, don't you think I've tried?
Yeah, like as if it was something greater that he was drawing from, and that just reminds me, like, because I just said Toriyama had his time for world building. I do feel like when you're creating art, there is like you hit this stride where it's not that it comes easy, not that it's not a little bit of work, you're pulling a piece of yourself out of it to create it, but it's a little bit easier to connect with that part of yourself and speak to it, and I feel like everyone kind of gets you get your time to draw from that magical pool of creativity. And build something truly unique, and you see so many artists, so many filmmakers, novelists, musicians especially, who have like really great runs, and then it just seems like something just like they just can't do it anymore. I think that's an incredibly interesting concept. I find myself thinking about a lot, and then I start worrying about, like, am I capitalizing on mine? Is it time for mine? Am I getting there? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I suppose it could be credited to like the law of diminishing returns. In a way.
A little.
But I think that term is more for people who are trying to constantly milk it. But then I guess Bob Dylan is someone who's like accepting and looking at it in the face as like, it's just not going to work like that anymore. It's something wildly related that I found wildly entertaining as well as a TikTok I watched the other day that was talking about how Jim Carrey, right? He had very, very publicly stepped away from acting, made it clear that he felt very disgusted by the way Hollywood works, and that he's just going to step away. And then the thing that brought him out of that funk was the Sonic movie. Sonic the Hedgehog. He's playing Doc Eggman.
Yeah.
And
I think Idris Elba's on record saying that he's using every bit of his acting ability as Knuckles in Sonic.
Yeah, and then now we got Keanu coming in as Shadow, which I think is I'm not a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, but I used to be a Shadow fan as a kid. So it does tickle me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I think the casting is pretty well done.
Can you imagine Shadow the Hedgehog with that bum-ass original Sonic design that they had? You remember?
Oh. You look like a little emo kid.
Yeah.
All pouty and shit.
They had that Sonic that... Oh, actually, yeah, let's talk about this bullshit. They had that Sonic, for the first movie they released what it looked like, and the trailer was like, everyone like had like this awful reaction. They were like, why does Sonic look like that? That's ugly. And they bullied the animators so hard they went and redesigned him, and then he looked much more like faithful. And I'm thinking we got to do that shit for the Minecraft movie. Did you see the trailer for the Minecraft movie with Jack Black? Because I want to throw up, dude. I want to fucking puke.
I don't think I'm 100% not the first person to say it. Probably not even this second on Earth am I not the first person to say it, but it just so much looks like Jack Black is playing Jack Black in Minecraft.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Not like even like I'm Jack Black the character, like straight up like I'm Jack Black the movie star, the guy you remember from King Kong and Nacho Libre, and now I'm in Minecraft. Let's go, baby. It doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, my opinion is subject to change, I'm sure, but don't come after me for it. I don't know how popular of an opinion this is, but I got to be honest. I'm getting a little sick of Jack Black. I'm getting a little sick and fucking tired.
he was on fire, I feel like, there for a minute. And then as soon as that fire lit, people were like, is something on fire in here? Like, there's so much smoke. Like,
yeah, my roommate pointed out, he was like, imagine if Jack Black wasn't famous and in movies you loved, and he was just like a band kid. You know,
yeah.
And tell me that's not how band kids act, you know, or like the annoying kid in your high school,
or even like just like a regular base level influencer. Like if you take away all his previous credits, put this guy in front of you now, people would despise him. I think.
Right. It'd be difficult to be around him. But that's not to say that I don't love Tenacious D. That's not to say that I don't listen to like Tribute or the Metal, and I'm like, it's fucking bumping. But you know, or that I don't love his, like, a lot of his work. I still, I like Nacho Libre. Fuck it, yeah. I like School of Rock. That shit was awesome.
Yes,
you're the man. But I
just watched Shallow Hal not that long ago.
I love Shallow Hal.
That movie didn't age amazingly, but I had a good time. I like.
I haven't seen it since I was a young kid, so I remember it being like, aw.
It's not. It's so not. Aw. It's it's nail biting at every turn. To say the very least, it is nail biting. There's movies out there that make fun of obesity in different ways. Like I know you've seen Norbit.
Yeah.
And so that movie tends to make fun of fat people in multiple ways, right? Shallow Hal addresses it almost like a personal threat of like, these fatties need to fucking die. You need black magic to love such a hideous creature. It's bad, dude.
Oh my god.
It's like, oh my god. And also, I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow is like, she's always been like tiny, skinny, mini person. So she's probably not the most like body inclusive, body shape inclusive person you have
right.
to put out there.
Didn't she just recently sell candles that smelled like her gooch?
Yeah. I gotta tell you, man, I fucking hate Gwyneth Paltrow.
You want to know something?
Have I ever mentioned that to you?
No, you haven't.
Okay, I swear I brought that up before.
You want to hear a story that I really, really love? I think I'm getting my details right. I could be getting them totally wrong, but that's okay. Who listens to this anyway? Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow used to be a thing. They used to be dating, possibly married. I don't quite remember, but she was in a movie produced by Harvey Weinstein, so we can all kind of assume where that went. If you don't know, for some reason, Harvey Weinstein was like a film producer for the Weinstein Company, and he was a fucking creep. He was a fucking piece of shit, and he was very rapey and rapist, and he was
big on
a lot
the casting
of really shitty things. Yeah. And he made a move on her. He made a move on Gwyneth Paltrow, made her really uncomfortable. I don't think anything really happened, but she was like, that was, I can't believe I was in that situation. And Brad Pitt approached Harvey Weinstein like at the next like award show that he saw him at or whatever, and he said if you ever make her feel that way or speak to her at all, I will fucking kill you. And Harvey Weinstein
I
never
will Fight
fucking
Club you to death.
You're gonna learn why it's called Fight Club.
You saw that movie, right? You saw my movie, Fight Club.
Yeah, this was in like 2000,
Yeah.
and he was like,
See how hard
"Once
I can
upon a
get
time in Hollywood, there was a little creep."
He's a guilty pleasure of mine, Brad Pitt. I love to hate him.
I'm not guilty at all. I'm not guilty at all. I love Brad Pitt, dude. I love me some Brad Pitt. Yeah.
He's one of those like A-listers that's just like, of course you love him. He's beautiful. He's this. He's that. But God, I hate that. I give it to him sometimes.
Yeah, and like I guess with someone being an A-lister, you kind of have like a bit of resistance, like in general.
Yeah.
You're like this guy's probably vapid. He's probably he's a piece of shit. He's got money. He's hot. He's never, Yeah. If I met this guy, we're in totally different worlds, and he's probably a tool bag, you know, based on like everything he's ever had. Every story I've ever had has been great, and so any A-lister I hear about, I have this reservation that's like they're probably a piece of shit. Maybe they're part of the cabal. No, but I probably just think like they probably just have some like fame-induced assholiness about him. But I don't get that from him. I don't know the guy, so who knows? But as far as I know, he seems A-okay. 6 out of 10 at least.
I'd have a beer with him.
Yeah. Do you think could we try and I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of connections. I don't know about you. Our buddy Noah might. You know Noah Fisher.
Yeah, of course.
He knows a lot of people. You think we might be able to get Brad Pitt on the show briefly?
I will.
I think for an appearance, maybe through phone call.
I will ask Noah.
I'll ask Noah.
You will ask Noah?
We could both. We'll message the group chat.
Let's get Noah in the chat as soon as we get done with this episode, and we'll just hash it out right there.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We're going to try and get Brad Pitt on the show.
Yeah. It's a great segue, by the way. For me to not announce, I guess, but mention, because Noah has done some other work outside of the Caps Off realm. I have another podcast that I'm doing with my two good friends, Nick and Justin. We are the Wannabeez. And if you're a fan of this podcast, I'm hoping that that's all it takes for you to come listen to that podcast. And if you do, I appreciate you, and thanks for coming and listening. We are just 3 guys. We met on a cruise ship, and we all love the same podcast and the same goofy stuff, and we find many times that we are just wildly similar, and then we relish at the times now that we find things different about each other, and then we kind of prey on that. And that's kind of most of the material of the show that we have. We just love to have a good time. So Noah Fisher did some music for that, for the intro, just like he did for this show. So shout out Noah Fisher. Thanks, dog. You always come through, and, yeah, check out Wannabeez.
All right, cool. I think we're at about 53 minutes. We can probably wrap it up there. And,
that sounds good to me, man.
Yeah. And, it's been great. I've loved hanging out with you and, the Caps Off audience. It was just as lovely as the day we met, let me just say.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's been real. I'm going to shake your hand. I don't remember if we stopped. I don't remember what we have and what we are and aren't doing. I think we're still shaking hands, right?
We're shaking hands, buddy. You know we're shaking hands, dog. I can't end this podcast without shaking your hand.
There we go. All right, man. I'll talk to you in a couple of minutes.